And so we've got Auburn on the Plains playing some decent football, taking on Arkansas, who, of course, had a huge win at home against Ole Miss. And the Tigers, for some reason, are a 9.5-point favorite. Can't really explain that one, Dave, but maybe you can.
I cannot. We have talked about this behind the scenes and how we all want to run to Vegas and throw money in on this game. This unreal. What has Auburn done to get that line? I have no idea. What has Arkansas done to be down by that much with a line like that? I still have no idea. Arkansas, we saw, they kind of became the Arkansas we know last week for, average about 4 yards a carry. They were able to grind it out. And Riley Williams, showing up again. He's proven to be a playmaker now for Arkansas. I want to see if they can keep up this what they're doing on offense. This is all Arkansas offense that's been able to mix it up. Like I mentioned earlier, when they played Bama, they tried to pass the ball a good bit, but they can mix it up. They can win games in the pass and the run. Auburn's defense can't necessarily just pin its ears back and attack quarterback Allen there. I think Arkansas will have to mix it up, just so that doesn't happen. So this Auburn defense can't just pin its ears back. But Sean White, going to the Auburn offense now, it's just, he's been getting better. In the last 3 games of hitting 77% of his passes, about 226 yards a game, 3 touchdowns and a pick. He's getting better since that Clemson game. When Malzahn, just for whatever reason, wanted to play quarterback roulette, kind of just screwed that game up. Ever since that, it's happened a couple more times, but now Sean White, you can see he's supplanted himself as being the quarterback for Auburn. He might need to run the ball a little bit more in this game to mix up an Arkansas defense that's kind of inconsistent so far this year. But I don't agree with the line at all. I'm going Arkansas all the way just to win this game outright.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have an issue with Auburn being favored. If you look at Auburn, they had a great defensive effort against Clemson, really held the Clemson offense in check, and we saw what Clemson's done since. Of course, they've had a couple struggles in NC State last week, but they did beat Louisville. So that Clemson team is a legitimate team, notwithstanding what happened last week with North Carolina State. Auburn looked really good against them. That LSU loss to Wisconsin now looks great. It looks like a great loss with Wisconsin taking both Michigan and Ohio State down to the final drive and taking Ohio State into overtime. And of course, Auburn beat LSU, which was 1 score away from Wisconsin. And then you look at Arkansas; they lost by 21 to Texas A&M, and then they got, I think, lost by 19, I believe, to Alabama off the top of my head. So their win against Ole Miss looked great last week, but Ole Miss is a 3-3 team. I'm fine with Auburn being a 6-point favorite. You said 9 mark is the line. That might be a little bit high. But we are in Auburn. Arkansas has to travel. Again, that Texas A&M game was at a neutral site, 21-point loss. I think both of these teams are fighting for identity. They're up 1 week. They're down another week. Arkansas had a close victory week 1. I believe they won by maybe a couple points to maybe Louisiana Tech, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure. Arkansas is 1 point. Thank you. Arkansas is kind of up and down this season. That last week against Ole Miss, they were up, but they've been down a couple points. And I think Auburn's kind of been flying under the radar. That first week, people expecting them to get killed by Clemson. This might be the week Auburn comes out and says, "Hey, you know what? Don't forget about us. We're still a top 2 or 3 team in the SEC West." Particularly once they get their now, it seems like they've got their quarterback situation handled. I don't know who's going to win this game. I think Auburn will. I just have a feeling. I've been on the Arkansas bandwagon for a couple of years saying they're going to get to the top of the SEC West, and they just can't seem to take that next step. And I think this might be the game this season where they fail to take that next step again. Arkansas can win this game easily, but I do think Auburn probably by touchdown, maybe 10 points. So I think this line is I don't see too much issue with this line based on looking at the body of work so far in the season.
Well, the thing about a line is that it could be a 3-point game. It could be a great game, close game, and then Auburn tacks on a touchdown with 50 seconds left and covers the spread because they win by 10. But it's that over the course of time, if they play 20 or 25 times, I just can't imagine that line at 9.5 would hold up over the course of the probability of times that they would play. Of course, anything can happen in one particular meeting.
And the other thing about the line is it's only good up until when we start the game, and then it makes no difference at all. And the final score is the only thing that matters.
My son would love you, Mike, because when I mention the line to him in Vegas, he's always like, Vegas. He could care less what the line is, which, of course, they're competitors. The line means nothing. That's why I hate when people are asked as athletes and coaches about, did you feel disrespected? The line was whatever. Who cares? They prepare for opponents and they respect generally everyone that they play. But I will tell you offhand that Arkansas has been pretty good to me, considering they got +8 against TCU and +9 against Ole Miss. So I did pretty well in those two times that Arkansas was a bit disrespected by Vegas.